for the 1 minute delay. I accidentally started the live stream, and that was a generic live stream, not the one that is this one, which is planned. And I was waiting, why people have not joined so far and so on. And then I realized that maybe it's definitely not a tech fault. It is my fault, right? Great. Just quickly let me know if I am audible well enough. High five, thumbs up, anything will do. A quick yes also on the comment will do. Everything is fine. Just that I should know that your time is not getting wasted here. Good. Perfect. Thank you so much, Aryan. All right. Shall we wait for maybe 60 more seconds before we begin, so that if people are already in the process of joining, they can also connect. Meanwhile, you are free to put on your questions. What those questions will be related to? Where is currently your preparation, and if there are any specific challenges that you are coming across with respect to your verbal, QA, and DILR. We will be very specific about what is needed right now. Also, let me know when you ask a question if you are a repeater or if you are taking CAT for the first time. And those of you who are taking CAT for the first time basically means first time seriously. So let's say you took CAT last year also. Don't call yourself a repeater if you just took it. Everybody got that? Okay. So for yourself, you are a fresher. If there is somebody, you took it last year seriously, somehow things did not pan out, and then you are taking it again, then you are a repeater. If you have taken CAT 4 times, but out of, all those 4 times were absolutely not serious, you are still a fresher. Got it? Perfect. Chali, I think this would be a good time to start now. Anybody who wants to join later on can come up. So I'll begin with 5-7 minutes of my specific thought process that I want to talk about, why I kept that session. My name is Ashish, by the way. Those of you who do not know, just wanted to tell you. So I sort of prepared something here. There are certain foundational elements that you must have accomplished to some good extent by now. Listen to me carefully. Today, I am going to give you some checkpoints. If you have not yet reached those checkpoints, that does not mean that you can't do CAT. That only means that you need to re-evaluate your preparation strategy and behavior. Perfect? Cool, na? And why we are talking about end of quarter 1 as such? Answer is very simple. When I end my year by 25% almost, ideally, if I have started my preparation, say in January, then my syllabus should have been completed by 25% in a very general stance. Of course, it will depend on what your class schedule is. And those of you who are not from the IMS system, for you, again, it would depend on what your specific class schedule is. If you are taking any coaching from somewhere, or if you are doing it on your own with the help of some mentor, either way. Just a simple thought process that at least can I say that today I am 25% there. And that's what you have to find out. And when I say first quarter, it is not just 25%. You don't have last quarter, my dear. Hai kahan last quarter? End of November, you have the exam. The whole November, you won't actually be learning anything new. It's all about practice. In fact, October also. And there is no December because CAT exam will be over in November. So those 2 months are more or less also gone. So we are left with a very limited time right now. It is a golden time. It is still not a time to think that we need to rush through quickly, but it is the time where you need to evaluate whether you are wasting your time or not. Okay? Perfect. So here is my understanding of how your quarter 1 preparation should look like. Now, you can be somebody who started your preparation in January. Listen to me carefully. You can be somebody who started your preparation in February, or you just started your preparation. Today we are in March. कौन सा date है आज? 7th March. ठीक है, it's 7th March today. 7 days of March are over. 28 days of February are over, 31 days of January are over. I'm going to take a benchmark from January, but don't feel that, oh my God, if I did not join in January, I've lost something. Nah, we'll talk about that as well. The very first thing, how would you want me to start, by the way? Should I begin first with verbal or with DILR or with quants? You pick. लिखो. Verbal, DILR or quants. One person said DILR, one person said quants. Last 10 seconds, and whichever is the majority, I'm gonna pick it up. QA, QA, QA. Okay. QA, one more QA. Okay. Oh, so many quant people. Oh, let's start with quant. After that, seems like if quant is sort of an Achilles heel for you, DILR should be the next one. Mahir already said that. Good. DILR. Let's go for DILR after that. What about verbal then? Shall we take it or not? Shall we take it or not? कर लेते है ना? हाँ, VRC. Good. चलो. Ignorance is bliss sometimes. So we'll begin with QA. Write these things down that I'm telling you. Whatever your mentor has said to you about QA preparation, everything is valid. I'm just adding on to it. If there are overlaps, perfectly all right. But by this much in March, wherever, step number one is, wherever your classes have reached, you should have completed the practice exercise and benchmarking tests of all these classes. Bare minimum. Cool? High five. Okay? You can go for a thumbs up. You must have done practice exercise and benchmarking test, which is basically 2 exercises per lecture. Let's say if 7 quant lectures have happened, so 7 class exercise would have happened in the class. And I'm sure most of you would have redone those classes as part of your preparation. Then practice exercise, then BMT. Those of you are not from the IMS system, similar thing will apply. Basically, a chapter that you have picked up, 2 exercises, and a test related to that chapter. Or 3 exercises, basically. So can I say that we are talking about 3 exercises per chapter? Either way, whether class exercise, practice exercise, or benchmarking test, or if you are not from the IMS system, then 3 exercises of that same chapter from whichever source you are doing. Perfect. This is the bare minimum. If you have not done that so far, then you fall in the category of backlog. And your step 1 should be to remove that backlog in next 7 to 10 days. Everybody's clear on this thing? Everybody's clear on this thing? Good. Second thing, when we talk about QA, now this, really will excite you. How many of you, I'm sure that many of you have this query that I understand QA in class. I can do the class exercise again as well. But when I give a bit of gap and I start doing the same chapter again, I don't really understand what is to be done in that question. Who all have this issue? You will have it now. So answer is very simple. Quant requires, ध्यान से सुनो, Quant requires minimum 5 and maximum, there is no number, but minimum 5 to 7 iterations of every single topic. So let's say in quants, you are currently doing arithmetic, and let's say you are doing profit and loss, and you're also doing maybe, simple interest and compound interest. And maybe you're also doing percentages. Okay? So we'll take these 4: percentages, profit and loss, simple interest, compound interest. 4 topics we're talking about. To really excel in quants, you must do these 4 chapters 7 times. How many times? Likho. Write it here. How many times? 7 times. You have to do that. And 7 times, you cannot do that in just one go, but you have to create an iteration. So the moment you realize that, okay, my classes are going on smoothly, I'm catching up everything on it, then maybe 1 month after your classes have begun, you should restart in the same sequence for Quant. You should restart in the same sequence for Quant, which means, let's say your first chapter was QA 1.1, then QA 1.2, QA 1.3, QA 1.4, QA 1.5, QA 1.6. After a month, your current class will go on. Your practice exercise of that will go on. Your benchmarking test for that will go on. But you also will now add some questions every week for those lectures also. And it would be a good idea to go for 3 to 4 lectures when you are iterating. 3 to 4 lectures. 2 is also okay to start with. 2 is also okay. But you got to reiterate. Now your question could be, from where should I prepare? Again, for the people in the IMS system, revise with AI. So many questions are there. Amazing questions. Do it, do it, do it, do it. Next question could be, how many questions should I do in one iteration? Depends on you. But I simply say that, anything between 20 and 40 is okay per topic. Anything between 20 and 40 is okay per topic. Now you can have your own, timeline. You might be good at particular topic. Some people are already good at quants, so they might not want to do as many. Some people are not very good at quants right now, so they will have to do more to reach that level. That's the thing. Okay. So this is about, the preparation portion. And then once you have completed your entire iteration of quants once, then you do the same iteration again. More number of questions again in the same sequence. Don't pick your topics. I'm reiterating. Please do not pick your topics. In the sequence that your classes have happened in the IMS or wherever, however you are studying, in that sequence only you got to pick your iterations. 1, 2, 3. Initially, if you are doing 2 repetitive lectures in a week for Quant, once you complete the first iteration, then you should do 5 to 6 lectures like that. Then third, 8 to 9 lectures like that. Because it is again only about what? 30 questions per lecture. If you are doing 7 lectures in 1 week, just the practice portion, you don't have to revise the whole theory. Come on. Just the 7 lectures. Then 7, 3s are 21, basically 210 questions. 210 questions in third iteration would not require you to spend more than 2 minutes, which basically means 400 minutes. What is 400 minutes? When you divide 400 by 60, what is it? Almost 7 hours. Yes or no? Which basically means 1 hour a day. Do you think it is not doable? Is it doable or not? Yes or no? That's how you plan. So every single thing should be accounted for when you are creating your schedule. And don't create a schedule for eternity. I have created 7 to 9 a.m. Quants. अरे क्या करेगा quant में? What will you do in quant? Write that down. Okay? Is that clear? The second aspect about quants is the calculation aspect. If you do not have good calculation, speed, mental calculation ability, quant will become a difficult task. Now, this also is aligned with DI, not LR, DI. DI also utilizes a significant portion of your arithmetic skills. If you are good in arithmetic and you are quick at it, there is a better chance for you to solve complex DI calculations. And you would score well in that. I'm sure your DILR teacher already must have told you this thing. If he or she has not told you, he or she will. It is important. That's the mandate. Okay. So calculation skills. So as far as calculation is concerned, do as many mental calculations as you can. But what should you have done by now, by the end of Q1? That means by the end of March, you should be completing all these things. How many of you have seen a chart in which squares, square root, cubes, cube roots, fractions, and tables are given? How many of us have seen that? Have we? Huh? You can give a thenga. Okay? Thenga or a yes over here. I don't think that there is any other way for me to know. Yeah. We have seen that, right? You should have memorized that by now. Or you should memorize it by end of this month. If you have not yet even started that, then you got to factor that thing into your schedule. And how much time does it require? Only 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening. You should have a chart pasted in front of you, in front of your eyes, maybe on on the top of your study table, on your almirah, on the wall. So when you wake up in the morning, you quickly look at that wall. Just take a look at it. Couple of numbers. 1 by 17, 1 by 18, 1 by 19, 1 by 20. Acha, 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 okay, 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 okay. Acha, 1 by 15 is this. 1 by 18 is this. So 1 by 17 must be somewhere between. That's how. And then while you are in the day, recall that. N number of times. Whenever you feel, it doesn't take a lot of brain and time and effort to really think about, acha, what is 12 square? 144. Acha, 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 acha. But what is 13 square? Oh, I don't know. No, you got to recall it. Recall. When you will do this thing, 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening, and recall in between. Within a month, you would memorize that entire chart. And when you will then solve your compound interest question, let's say the formula is P into 1 plus R upon 100 to the power n, right? And let's say an expression comes something like this, 1 by 17 to the power 3. If you know what is 1 by 17, then you quickly can multiply that 3 times. And that's all. Your job is done. But if you don't know, then what will you do? You will make it 100. Divide by 17. Achha, 17 ones are 17. 17 twos are... Oh, bhul gaye. 34. 17 threes are 51. ऐसे करोगे. Then that's how you will do it. Which is not very healthy. Okay. So, I'm going to give you a quick recap of quant portion. What did we discuss? By now or by the end of this month, you should be on track with whatever classes have been completed along with their practice exercise and benchmarking test. If you are not from the IMS system, then at least 3 exercises of such lectures. Second thing that you're supposed to do is you have to start your reiteration after the backlog is clear, and when you have reached the parity, you have to start the reiteration of quants, 20 to 30 questions from Revise with AI. Those of you who are not from IMS system, you can use your specific books for the additional questions, or you can take the test series, that's fine. Third thing is you have to strengthen your calculation skills. For calculation skills, you need to do mental calculations, and you also need to memorize that chart of squares, root, square root, cube root, fractions tables. Cool. Quant is done. Second, you said DILR. Aha, lovely. DILR is divided into 2 parts. One is DI, data interpretation. The other one is LR, logical reasoning. DILR does not have a syllabus. We have projections that these types of questions are asked. These types of sets are asked. This is sort of the difficulty level. And when those projections actually started to become very, very common within the industry, CAT authorities introduced a different type of DILR, which is called numerical logic. So it's a mix of DILR. At least one set is there in every single exam that you see now. Sometimes all the sets are like that. And your teacher must have told you about that. If not, he or she will tell you. Numerical logic. Within one set, there is a DILR. Not DI, not LR, DILR. What you should do about that? When we talk about foundational skills, there are again 2 things that you must have done by now, or you should complete that by end of this month. First thing is that every day you should solve 1 to 2 puzzles. You can pick your puzzles, but they should be challenging. For example, Sudoku is a challenging puzzle. Kakuro is a challenging puzzle. Kenken is a challenging puzzle. And there are levels in it. Even if you start from the easiest level, that's okay. But it is important for you to solve puzzles every day. If you will solve puzzle, your mind will nurture in that direction, and your mind will be able to process multiple variables at a time. Because when you will be doing DILR sets of CAT-like difficulty, then you will have 3-4 variables to think about in one go. Getting what I'm saying? So if you are not solving puzzles, start doing them right away. If you have not been solving, it would be a good idea to maybe solve more number of puzzles every day. But find out that time. Your leisure should not go into YouTube and Instagram until and unless it is about the IMS content, but it should not go into it. Your time should go into your puzzle solving. And there is a third thing also, which I'll talk about when I'll start VA. Do a lot of puzzles. Second thing is, whatever lectures have happened for you so far, again, the practice exercise and benchmarking test for those lectures, you should have completed by now. If not, quickly complete your backlog and do it. And here also iterations are required, but not of chapters, but of practice sets. So once you reach the parity, let's say you complete at least one module of your DILR, then you should start doing one DILR set every day for a couple of weeks. When the time of 2 to 3 DILR sets will come, we will inform you through classes or through these kind of sessions. Is that clear about DILR? That was very simple. But if you will not do this, consider DILR gone. Gone, literally gone. In the DILR paper, out of 40, 10 minutes are just spent in looking at the sets to find out what those 2 sets are going to be that you would like to do, which means 4 sets nobody will be able to do, more or less. What those 2 sets will be that you would like to do, and then you are left with 30 minutes only to do that. Do you think this will just come in a flick? No. Until your mind is processed to churn complex things, it won't happen. So that's why you got to do DILR, regular revision, but before that, prepare your mind through puzzles. Perfect. And this brings me to the third portion, VARC. VARC generally we think is very easy because we can all understand English. You are able to understand what I'm currently speaking, isn't it? And that is the biggest flaw, because VARC is not the test of your language. VARC is the test of your logic, and the medium is English language. So here is an interesting thing. What should you have accomplished by now? Let's say if you started from February, I'm not taking January also. 28 days of February and 7 days of March. How many days? Let's say 35 days. Every single day, listen to this thing carefully and write it down somewhere. Every single day, you should read minimum 1 article. Minimum. There is no maximum, by the way. Minimum 1 article worth 1500 words or more. How many? 1500 words or more. Every day you should read that. Now you might be thinking, I am an avid reader. I read it. Oh, read. No. Question is, when you are reading, after reading, are you also writing the summary of that article? If the answer is yes, kudos to you. Excellent. If the answer is no, whatever reading you have done, you can consider it 0. A reading without summary writing is not considered reading, will not be part of your foundational learning on VARC. So if you have not been doing that, start doing it right away. And it would be a good idea to maybe read 2 such articles. 1 article of 3000 words or more will also do, but that will require time. And now you might want to think about, from where should I read? It depends on your current level. So if you think Aeon, All Daily, these are the places which are difficult for you, you can start with something easy. Maybe the editorial section of newspapers like Times of India or Hindustan Times. When you want to increase the level of your understanding, then you go for the tougher newspapers like the Hindu or the Indian Express. I generally do not subscribe to the Hindu. A lot of people say that the Hindu is a good paper. I know, as far as the language is concerned, it is a good paper. But the similar kind of language you find in Indian Express also. Reason is very simple, that when you will be sitting for the interview, your opinion should be quite balanced. And generally, the Hindu offers a bit of more leftist approach. But in case of the Indian Express, I have seen the both sides. So at least the student has the opportunity to weigh that which one currently looks like meritorious and which one doesn't. At the end of the day, it is your call, because eventually you are going to be thinking about what to be done, what to understand, what to take from an article, whether you agree with the author or not. Important thing is how you comprehend it. But reading is important and summary writing is important. Then there can be novels also. If you Google the list of novels, novels to read for CAT preparation, Google will pop out so many novels. We also have given many recommendations through various other videos. Pick up. That's absolutely okay. Important thing is that you read. Reading is important. If you will not read, VRC won't move. Yesterday, I was having a discussion with somebody. So he said that I don't think RC is something for me, but if I want to prepare for VA, what is it that I can do which is not reading? And I said you should quit. Without reading, you can't do VARC. In fact, the VA portion requires the comprehension skills only. It is for the purpose of differentiation that the CAT authorities have created a VARC thing. RC means RC, reading comprehension. VA means the specific type of questions like summary, odd one out, and all that stuff. No, everything requires comprehension skills only. Eventually, if I say that this whole passage is only RC, but the questions are different. So you should have done 30 articles by now, but if you have not done them, start doing it right away. Second thing is, excuse me, now you should start doing one RC passage every day, which means 7 RC passages a week. If you can't do them every day, then 2 RC passages every alternate day. But please don't do 7 RCs in one day on weekend. I am more concerned about consistency, not your content. Clear? Perfect. So this is about VRC. And of course, for this also, whatever content has been covered in your class, you should have completed the practice exercise and benchmarking test of that. If there is a backlog, do it first. We have a wonderful thing called the 5 pause approach. 5 pause approach to solving RC. You already have that in your books. Those of you just started, you will reach that lecture, which is, I think, VA 1.3. Those of you who have already gone through VA 1.3, always do your RCs with 5 pause approach. It is not there for something to quickly see, learn, and then not do it. Nah. Karo usse bhai, karo. It will take time initially, but do it with 5 pause approach, and you will see where your comprehension levels will reach in another 2 months. You will become invincible, undefeatable. एकदम विजय रथ पर सवार हो जाओगे तुम, ठीक है? So this was about the foundational skills that were required for all 3 sections and the things that you of course should have done by now, or you should be completing by end of this month. So you got to create your timetable accordingly. Now I'm going to take your questions, which are going to be specific. So let me quickly start reading some questions and I'll start answering them. By when should our quant syllabus be over while practicing? What level of difficulty should we focus on? As your classes are progressing, just focus on that difficulty level. More difficulty level questions will keep on getting added to your my IMS system. So don't worry. Do a session on take a drop or join a tier 2B school. Achha. So I'll do that. I think we have done. So I have created a video on that on the IMS channel only. You can check that video later. Okay. But I'll see if I can quickly do that session also. Of course, I cannot take it in this one because this will not be part of it. Just these 4 topics. I don't know what 4 topics are you talking about, dear. Yours was an old message, but if you are talking about the topics like DQA, DI, LR, and VARC, then yes, because that is what is asked. And if you're talking about those 4 topics of quants, that was just an example for you. All the quant topics you have to do. So practice exercises are taking much more time. I'm not able to cope up with the class speed when I'm doing one topic's class exercise. In that time, 1 or 2 classes take place and then the backlog. You've got to find some time to redo your lecture, some portion of your lecture. See, sometimes it happens. It is part of anybody's journey. You got to redo the lecture. You can speed it up a bit and then you can do it, which basically means that this is a weak portion for you. So find some time on that. It's okay. A bit of backlog created because of your preparation is okay, but only a bit of backlog. A bit of backlog. So let's say a backlog of 2-3 lectures is going on. So you can do one thing, that at least you do minimum number of exercises for that, just the class exercise, and you keep on doing the practice exercise in the trail. And then comes your weekend, which is going to be the most important time for you. Acha, those of you are in college or you are a working professional, if you feel sometimes that backlog is increasing, take a leave. Take a leave. Okay. Don't keep your leaves to the end. 1 month before the exam, I'm gonna take the leave. That is of no use. It is the most useless thing. Take leaves periodically. Okay. But do take them. How to stay consistent with studies? By studying every day, by eating healthy, by sleeping on a particular time and waking up on a particular time, by doing yoga, by doing meditation, by not talking to people who are dissuading you from the studies, by not eating something which is very spicy, very oily, because all these things eventually take away your concentration. By doing your karma and knowing that action is in your control, the result is not in your control. In fact, I take discourses on the Bhagavad Gita, which is on my channel. You are free to visit that. If you get some learning, something better for that, for yourself, good for us. I am basically Agri Fresher 4th year AWS student 887 profile, currently in IMS online batch. At what CAT percentile will I receive a call from IIM Lucknow? Okay, beta, forget about the target percentiles for you. These things change. Again, I have created specific videos for all the top schools on the admission process, which talks about the composite score calculation. You can check that out on YouTube channel. That will give you your answer. And if this is the question for others also, similar kind of questions, do check out the criteria there. Admission criteria, I am Lucknow. Admission criteria, I am Ahmedabad. Aisa, you will find videos under 5 minutes. Aisa. Okay. Are internships necessary? They are basically as long as proper office job, and hence cut in on practice time and also make it harder to attend college. Internships are not necessary, but having an internship will add value to your profile. There are two aspects to it. One is that if you are in a gap year, then internship would be a good idea, because how will otherwise you justify your gap year? If you are in college, which I think is the case with you, then doing an internship is totally dependent on you. But if internship is currently coming in way of your preparation heavily, it is a better idea to not go for it. Rather, go for some additional certifications from Coursera, Swayam Portal, LinkedIn Learning to substantiate your candidature for MBA. Second question, they are not equivalent to a proper office job. When you do internship, it is an internship. It is not a work experience. The work experience that is counted is the full-time work experience after your graduation. Okay. Does CFA level 2 help? I am in second year right now and will appear for CAT this November. Yes, it helps extensively. CFA is a wonderful certification which adds value to your profile, especially if you are aiming for finance. It also gives you more number of marks in composite score calculation, which helps you with the first shortlist in many B schools. Any CFA level will do. You are talking about CFA level 2, which I'm thinking that you must have already done CFA level 1. So CFA level 1 also is equal in terms of getting the score, because they just pick up some certificates. If you have them, you get the score. If you don't have, you don't get the score. There are many people who do CFA level 1 before CAT, then they do CFA level 2 during their MBA, and CFA level 3 a couple of years after they have reached the job or something. Sometimes people do CFA level 3 also within MBA and just immediately after MBA. Your trajectory is totally dependent on you, but yes, it helps. What should be a good benchmarking test score for all sections? Which accuracy level should be aimed for? Accuracy level in verbal, I would say 70% for now, 60 to 70% for now. If it is more, great. In Quant, again, 80% or so. DILR also 80% or so. This is the bare minimum. You need to reach better on that. Uh, I'll not talk about the good benchmarking score as such. It is more about, but I think the pass score is already written there. So you can pick that for that particular chapter. Actually, to CAT 2024, got 93 percentile overall. Sectional wise, I got 98 in QA and DLR. VRC 38. Oh, in VRC, you know, if you are given a choice between eating pizza and reading, read while you eat pizza. That's your life should be. PR. Okay, Mr. PR? Your VRC approach should have two components: heavy reading, followed by summary writing, and solving RC every day with 5 pause approach. From where should I practice puzzle? I mean, Google. There is a website called sudoku.com that will give you Sudoku. Apps are there. I appeared for few benchmarking tests, but what is the ideal score for QA? It is getting tough to score above 32 to 30 to 32 marks. I'm not able to solve more than 12 to 14 questions. That's okay. That's okay. Acha, see, when you do benchmarking test, after doing the benchmark, let's say you are able to do only 50% of it. That's okay. Once it is done, then you do the rest of the questions irrespective of the time limit. Benchmarking test will just test your ability, within a particular time. But after that, also, if you are able to solve quite a number of questions, it's a good thing. That means you are reaching that level. It's that just you have to work on your time. And that's okay. I'm hoping, Tanvi, that you are not leaving the benchmarking tests if some questions are left unattempted. Okay. If you're doing that, don't do it. Should I do an internship after my graduation since I will have a gap year, although I've already done 3 months? I don't know when your graduation is getting completed, Dhruti. If it is getting completed this year, then it is not a gap. You will be filling the form in August for CAT, and it will require your status till July of this year. So that's not a gap. If you're currently in the gap and you have already done 3 months of internship, then you can think of internship as an additional value thing that you can do. Definitely you can do that. But if it is coming in way of your preparation, better is that you do some certificate courses, because that will happen according to your time and pace, not the organization with whom you are doing your internship. If you've already done 3 internships for 3 months, then it's okay. No need to do more. Okay. Yuvraj's question is also about internship, which is similar to the answer I already provided. So I'll not take this question directly. One should join the Coursera course from now onwards or after CAT. Can you suggest some courses regarding sales and marketing? Okay. IMS has a tie-up with Coursera. So what IMS does, basically it will charge some money from you and it will give you the time, 1 month, 3 month, 6 months. Using that code, when you log into Coursera, you will be able to see IMS recommended courses. IMS recommended courses for each specialization. And those courses will, I think, be offered at 60% discount or something. So that's a good thing that you can go for. As far as sales and marketing is concerned, one thing is basics of marketing, the other thing is market research. These are the two bare minimum, quite important courses with respect to marketing. Then digital marketing also is a course for that. So you can do, either of these. In fact, if you want to get the detail of all the courses, uh, there is there is a chat box on our website, imsindia.com. Ask that person over there that can you share the list of IMS recommended Coursera courses to me, or the link to that. They will share it with you. I have CAT 24 without study, got 30 percentile. Should I repeat? Yes, of course. Beta. Is NPTEL Swayam courses good to say in an interview? Yes. See, NPTEL again is an aggregator. The courses offered there are from various IITs, IIMs, and various other universities in the country. So yes, they have a lot of value. In fact, when NPTEL was just NPTEL and not Swayam, long ago, I was in my graduation there. So I was struggling with a subject called digital signal processing. Those of you who are from engineering background, you might be able to understand what I'm saying. And it's quite a tedious subject. And once you miss out on something, basically it is difficult to catch up. So the only resort that I had with me was the NPTEL. I logged into NPTEL. IIT Madras professor was taking a lecture on digital signal processing. I did it thoroughly. And then when I went for my exam, I actually did not study from my book then. I did not cram anything, just practiced a couple of questions according to my own self. That the method was also slightly different, and I topped that exam. I topped that exam. The exam in which I was fearing that I will fail, I topped that exam in my class. So I'm just saying that there is quality offered on NPTEL. Now that there are more number of universities there, so of course you have to pick your battles. But yes, these courses are highly valued. Plus, they are very cheap. Learning is free, and certificate costs what, 1,000 or 2,000 rupees that you will pay for the test. If you clear the test, 70% or more marks you will have to get from it, and you get the certificate. What is 5 pause approach? I've never heard of this. VA 1.3. Then there are a couple of Instagram and YouTube shorts also on 5 pause approach. You can check that out later. I'm just not mentioning it here because would not be part of the scope right now. I graduated in 2024. Now I'm doing job. Do I need other certification courses? No. I'm expecting that your job is slightly related to MBA. But yeah, is 6 hours a day enough for CAT if I start from now? Yes, but 6 hours means 6 hours. I applied for the same course, but I did not get any answer from the IMS. Same course. I didn't get your question, beta. Same course, or are you saying that I asked for the courses as such? If that is the case, na, let me just see if I can chat here. I'll just quickly write down your name. Ritesh, you do the same thing once again. Okay, share your number with them, not here, not here. Your number with them. I've taken your name down. So when a query is registered over there, it is logged. I'll ask somebody to reach out to you. Okay. I understand in QA classes, but not able to solve practice exercise and scared of benchmarking. The scare will not do anything better. Some starts are tough. It's okay. You got to do. I completed my BDS in October 24. I appeared for CAT 24 without prep and scored 47 percentile. Should I opt for a job or some Coursera course to justify my gap year? Your choice. If you can get the job right away, job is better. Relevant job. It will add value to your profile and so on. Although, see, when I talk about job, let's say you get the job in April 1st, you are starting your job. So April, May, June, July, as far as work experience is concerned, you will be able to fill only these 4 months. So you will not get any work experience score for sure. Okay, Bhasha? But when you will sit for your interview in January or February next year, by then you would have acquired a good number of work experience, good number of months worth of work experience, and then you will be able to state that. So initially the composite score will not have the work experience score, but later on during PI, this will add value. Plus, it will give you some buffer. Your mind will not be fully occupied. Oh my God, what will happen? What will happen? If you can't get job quickly, let's say, give yourself 30 to 40 days max. Now, that's all. If you can't get a job in those 30 to 40 days, go for certificates. Don't then keep on hogging after job. Then in the second part of the year also, it will be difficult to manage a new job with CAT preparation. I like Economic Times editorials, but that was not mentioned in your list. Is it okay if I continue with that? Of course, of course. Dekho, I do not name the specific type of publications which cater to specific subject. That's why Economic Times would be more towards the policy making related to money, economics. So that should be, acha, guys, always read diverse. ऐसा नहीं है I only read economic times. 3 days a week you read economic times. 4 days a week you read Aeon or All Daily. Simple. Okay. I'm going to complete my graduation in BTech in April this year, planning to do IMS coaching from May onwards. What all can I do now for preparation of CAT? Start reading heavily, solve one puzzle every day, 1 to 2 puzzle every day. And it would be a good idea to, not wait until May. Start right away. Initially, the number of lectures are fewer and they are not very heavy. Plus, you are in the last year of your graduation, last month of your graduation. So there won't be a lot of load except for your exams, maybe. So why wait until May? Get a particular batch which is now, 2 months worth of benefit you are going to get. Why you want to waste that? Let's say you are not able to cope up with that. You still will have the opportunity to start your preparation from it. But what if you cope up? Okay, Vaishnav. I'll graduate in April this year, so it won't be a gap year. No, gap year का क्या मतलब है? Gap year. It's not gap year. And you will graduate in April, but you will get your certificates, I think, in June, July, or August, depending upon your university. काहे का gap year, यार? No gap year. So you are chill, motivating, and practical. Works well for everybody. Chali, great. So I think this was the last question. Thank you so much for joining. I hope this session was interesting and insightful for all of you. We'll come up with more such sessions in future. If there are more questions, feel free to put them as comments. I'll try to answer them as and when I get time, and then I'll type those answers down in the comments. Until then, enjoy your rest of the evening. We'll catch up very soon. Bye bye.